presented. It's 25 years since Steve Prescott signed for Hull, 10 years since his tragic passing. He hands the ball to referee Chris Kendall, a man who links both teams, a Challenge Cup winner with Saints, a huge favourite at Hull. And let's get to those team sheets. Hull FC then, with plenty of quality in their side. No Jake Clifford, so Texoy moves to half-back. Davy Litton in at full-back. That spine will be key. Let's have a look at the Saints side as well. Well, they are unchanged. It's a luxury that Paul Wellens has not been able to draw upon. Jack Welsby is the standout of a stellar backline, but that pack will be huge. Matty Lees, Alex Walmsley will have to take it to Hull. So Chris Kendall is the referee for this one. The video ref is Tom Grant. And let's hope that we don't need him too often this afternoon.
A little bit of a delay when we're on BBC.
And that things are clear and concise. As Saints look to get us underway then.
Stay behind, stay behind.
So, quarter-final 2 of the Betfred Challenge Cup. And Hull FC receive the kick-off here. And Scott Taylor will cart it in. Helping me make sense of it all, we've got a foot in both camps. Former Hull FC coach John Keir, Saints and England skipper Jodie Cunningham is also alongside me. What are we expecting for this one?
Yeah, Matt, it's going to be an exciting one, and I think the build-up, if anything, made me even more excited with the fact that they're talking a lot about Hull FC wanting to throw the ball around, really disrupt this St Helens defence, and that's exactly what I think we're going to see today. Lots of great ball play from both sides and some fantastic rugby league.
And two very, very strong squads indeed. You know, if you look at the St Helens side, it's virtually the 1 to 17 that they've selected prior to the season opener, and Hull at strength as well, except for Jake Clifford. So two ding-dong sides and a ding-dong battle to commence.
Yeah, placing the last 4 up for grabs. Some Hull fans might already be dreaming of an all-Hull final or semi-final. They've got a job to do first, and Jack Welsby takes that ball in, and his returns from backfield. That Saints back line very good at returning the ball.
Yeah, well, that's interesting to see there. Hull FC put the ball high in the air and at Jack Welsby, so straight away you're taking him out of a tackle of the centre 6, and he's then got to recover to try and reintroduce himself. So a nice little tactic there straight away from coach Tony Smith.
Roby moves that ball on to Matty Lees. Thundering forward here as Walmsley picks up and is hunted and tackled by a Hull side who have the bit between their teeth too, and that's a looping kick downfield taken by Davy Litton at the back, and mind you, the late shot on the kicker.
Yeah, it was Joe Cater who was the Morgan Knowles of the Hull FC side really, and he's the one really who works really hard, does all those little 1%ers, but he just took it a little too far there with a late tackle on the kicker.
And we just saw Paul Wellens up in their coach's box, and he will be sensing that his side can make something of this. Lewis Dodd, whoever it was, who was clattered late.
And it's a tough one, that, isn't it, John? Because you want to put pressure on the kicker, you want to make sure they don't get that perfect kick away, but if you time it not right, then it's going to put you under pressure.
Exactly right, they are under pressure right now, Jodie, and interesting to see St Helens didn't go for the 2 points, confident enough to go for the 6.
Dodd puts a step on, smothered though by Hull defenders, who take him back over the line. So Saints will go to the 10 and start their attack again here. Loads of shape on this left-hand side, which is where the ball's going to come to. Lomax throws to Welsby, locked up that time by that right edge defence in the shape of Carlos Turmavave. Roby spins to Lomax. Little short ball this time for Knowles. Another bell ringer.
Great contact there from the Hull FC. It was Taylor there, Scott Taylor, really put his imprint on the game.
Dodd, now Welsby fires the pass wide. Oh, it's an awkward one. It's been rescued by Tommy Makinson. Oh, he has it. No, he hasn't. The judge's flag is up. And just for a second, it looked as though he'd straddled the chalk, but Hull get a defensive win there.
They do, and I think Lomax trying to claim for a touch there, and I'm not sure whether it was touched by, I think it is, and it's head and feed to St Helens. It was touched by the Hull FC defender. Makinson just going out in touch there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be head and feed St Helens and another chance at this Hull FC defensive line.
They're under a bit of duress here, those in black and white. Saints.
But if you're going to be under the cosh, Matt, it's better when your energy tanks are full, and that's exactly what they are at this moment in time.
Lomax, the ball off the scrum, finds him, and then Wellsby smuggles it away. T. Ritson with plenty to do, and he's taken down by Jez Litton. Not Jez Litton, his brother. It's David Litton, his cousin. Back into the hands of Wormsley. And Wormsley sets a point here. They lost a bit of momentum here, Saints. Oh, that's a scruffy play, the ball. And Hull, again, the pressure pays off.
And look at the reaction of the Hull FC side. They really are really pleased with their work up to now on the defensive side, and including this right edge, which has been questioned previously. Tuivasa came up with a great read, but there was just an element of energy and effort amongst that Hull FC defence.
He was, and I think, you know, Wormsley will feel maybe a little bit hard done to there. I think there's just a little kick on that ball from Scott Taylor as he was getting back into the defensive position at marker, but I think the work rate Scott Taylor's got through in that defensive line, he's really been putting his body about and got the just rewards.
Liam Sutcliffe with the carry for Hull, really impressed since his move from Leeds, played in the grand final against Saints last year with the Rhinos, but made that post-season move along the M62 here to East Yorkshire. Griffin that time battling, and
Griffin,
he's knocked on this time.
Yeah, at the play of the ball. Those are little errors really that you cannot do in Challenge Cup quarter-finals when the stakes are so high. It's sudden death rugby league. You've got to be absolutely squeaky clean with your execution of the basic skills.
Yeah, and look, they are killers when you've just done a couple of good defensive sets on your line. You've released the pressure, you've kept a brilliant attacking side like St Helens out, and then you finally get the ball back and you give it up, and that is just trying to get those quick play balls, which are important, but making sure that you're tidy around the ruck is going to be really important today.
Mark Percival trying to wriggle his way through those in black and white. Savelio makes the challenge that time. A stomp forward here from Saints again. Curtis Siranen making inroads. Back on the inside it goes. Oh, Matty Lees this time sent tumbling. Savelio putting the shots in. There's Dodd. Wellsby through a gap. What a try that is! Superb from Joe Batchelor. Shuttled in off a short ball. And Saints strike.
Yeah, give Saints that much possession close to your try line and they will score points on you. Fantastic ball play. It felt like it was coming. They hadn't quite got that passing as crisp. The couple of times they'd been attacking that line previously, but they're absolutely on the money. Quick play of the ball from Matty Lees despite that big tackle, and then you just see there Jack Wellsby linking in brilliantly out the back, and it's just that short pass there. Fantastic line from Joe Batchelor, who's been in fantastic form since he's been back. I think he's been the difference. The turn of form from St Helens has come when he's been on the field, and brilliant try and well-deserved Joe Batchelor.
Yeah, what a job Wellsby did there. He got the third man in defender there. He just engaged him, just got him to look inside, and that just opened up the half gap for Batchelor with the timing of his run to crash through for a really, really well executed try, but one that Hull brought on themselves with the Griffin error.
He's had to be patient, Joe Batchelor. Likewise, Tommy Makinson here from the touchline will take his time. Well, just in from the touchline. And a kick for Saints to add an extra 2.
Time off.
8 minutes gone, and Saints are in front here with Makinson steadying himself. Will he find the target to extend Saints' lead? Yes, he does. And Joe Batchelor's try. Here's the difference.
Yeah, it was an excellent execution here. Just look how he gets at the 3-end defender, and there's the gap there. And he doesn't need asking twice, does he, Joe Batchelor, who's come on a strange route, shall we say, to the very elite. Started in the Championship at at York, but he really has taken his opportunity in Super League and obviously at this high level in the Challenge Cup.
Walmsley buccaneering off the back fence that time. Saints get a set restart. Siranen drifts. Just looking to catch Paul a little.
And we're right next to the 6 again Hooter, aren't we, Matt? So.
Yeah, well, you're nearer to it than any of us. So.
Thanks very much.
You're copying it.
Scott, step back, Andre.
Roby then.
Go to.
Doesn't half catch you unawares. Lomax turned back on the inside for Hurrell, and we know what a weapon he can be when given space to roam.
Hurrell's post-contact meters have been so impressive all year. He does that really well, comes back on the grain. Not quite to ground there. I think it was an intercept possibly that Swift went for, so head and feed St Helens.
Well, once again, the possession stats really are building up for St Helens. There's been a couple of repeat sets where the edge defenders for Hull FC have played at the ball, and it's just mounts up, and it's really difficult to just continue defending. We spoke about it, it's a good time to do it when you're full of energy at the start of the game, but they're just doing absolutely too much of it. They need to get back to a set-for-set possession count.
It's that panic. We saw how well Saints can execute when they get you on an edge, and I think the outside edges just get a little bit touchy when the ball starts to play out wide, and that's when they start trying to Snapchat it, but you just can't give St Helens this much possession.
Well, there's a bit of concern here.
Yeah.
The Saints have a man down.
Well, the plus point for that is the fact that the physio was so quick onto the field. I think it's Mark Percival there. He just copped a shoulder from Brad Fash. And just in the tackle for me, it's just the wrestling to gain dominance.
It's the follow through as well, isn't it? Scott Taylor can't get out of the way. Fash has landed on him. Interesting to see whether this will be penalised by Chris Kendall.
But the physios were really, really good there. As soon as they saw any problem, straight there for attention. The doctor on soon after. And that's one thing I think the game of rugby league really have got spot on, is the player welfare and the attention to the players upon any injury.
Yeah, well, the medical staff have immediately pointed tap of the head, so he will have to come off. He's getting back to his feet, which is promising for Mark Percival. Well, he looks a little woozy. And Chris Kendall just biding his time here.
That'll be a big loss for St Helens, losing Mark Percival. He's such a dynamic play when he comes out of that backfield. The way he runs onto the ball with absolutely no self-preservation, makes some really pivotal large yards out of backfield for St Helens. Obviously, be wishing him the best, and he'll be off for his head injury assessment now and looked after by the medical staff.
There is some contact with the head, so we're not sure how much of it is part of the mechanism of the tackle. So it's going to be a penalty. Incident's going to go on report, all right?
So it's going on report, just in case that wasn't available to you. There was contact with the head, penalty, but any further punishment will be dealt with by the match review panel.
It's a tough one. It's whether it's that initial one or whether it's the second one as he's getting up, but the referee deems it's a penalty. I think Makerson quite sensibly now is going to take the heat out of the situation and go for the 2 points. But I thought Chris Kendall refereed that really well. He was very composed. He went away, thought about it. Obviously, he'll listen on the headphones as well for the clarity from the sideline.
So Chris Kendall just ensuring everyone's on side. Sione Matautier has come on as the head injury assessment replacement for St Helens, with Mark Percival, the player who's going off. And so Makinson, just to tick the scoreboard on here, already landed one of his goals. This one from 40 out, central position.
1 minute.
Has he got the range? Has he got the accuracy? Yes, he has. So Saints take the points that were available.
Well, a sensible decision, really, and it's one that the referees deemed an illegal challenge, and there is contact with the head. So that will be the reason for it, and Saints took full advantage of that infringement by Fash.
So Sutcliffe taking the tee. Walmsley will again rumble forward.
Terrifying sight for any defence, that, isn't it, Matt? Wouldn't want to be stood in front of Alex Walmsley when he ramps up from the touchline and takes it into the tackle like that. Absolutely damaging play.
It's like Godzilla stomping downfield at you, isn't it? Oh, that ball's been released in the tackle. Cervello gets it away to Truman, and Hull have got the ball back here.
Well, that's just what Hull FC needed, because they've been starved of possession, and they've certainly been starved of field position, so it's the first real opportunity now.
Brad Fash feeling the heat that time. He just happened to be the one carrying the ball as those frustrated Saints players came hunting. Houghton to Taylor. Again, they're committing numbers. Slow play the ball from Scott Taylor. Gingerly picks himself up off the floor. And then another smothering hit. This time from Walmsley. Houghton. Hoy. Oh, through the pass to Sutcliffe, who then got folded. But Hull have still got it here through Swift.
Well, this is brutal defence, isn't it? St Helens really are hunting in numbers. Another stoppage in back play. I think it's Taylor that's down receiving treatment.
It's Taylor. I think the physio will be quite happy there. I think she had to duck to not take one of those passes to the head at one point, but it looks like it possibly an arm or shoulder injury there for Scott Taylor, who's going to be big loss again. Spoke about the work rate from him, but all coming on position and possession, all coming off the back of that error from Matty Lees, and then just possibly an awkward fall here from Taylor and getting his arm caught potentially in the wrong place there, but he looks in quite a fair bit of pain. I don't think he'll be leaving the field easy.
Nice. There's tears in his eyes, aren't there? Scott Taylor, we hope he's okay. Real character, tag Taylor. And Hull have had to make an early switch, and Chris Sartai is on, and you know what you're going to get from him. Route 1, thunder and lightning. As the ball off the boot, looking for McIntosh's leap. It's a smart leap, Litting got floored by Sirenen. Savagery.
It's brutal, isn't it? This defence is absolutely brutal. As he receives the ball, whack. My word, that is some contact, and totally legal. Good shoulder contact, just around the ribs area. But they really do mean business, the Saints, today.
Yeah, they are on the back of a 5-game winning streak. There's the confirmation, Sartai for Taylor. Sirenen there, the hitman on that occasion for Saints, and it's his turn to rattle forward here to the St Helens side.
And how good is it to see him, contract extension, keep him in England. I think he's been a fantastic signing for the St Helens side and real enforcer of the team that you can see there.
Yeah, he's got a lot to live up to with the Sirenen name, hasn't he, with his dad Paul, but certainly playing with the same kind of steel.
And that's good right-edge defence from Tumavave once again. His decision-making at the minute has been first class.
Ball swept, hooked back inside. Litton takes it for Hull. Saints still in front by the 8 points. Hull being kept at arm's length very well by Saints at the moment. Although there might be a shift on here. Swift. Still the threat lurks. Tumavave. Yeah, Swift is struggling in back play.
Past the line.
No real concern there. Hull dropping like flies.
But that was a bit of unorthodox play, wasn't it, with that shifting, you know, just 10 metres so away from the line, and through it goes.
Hoy's through, support for Griffin, and Hull from nowhere strike with some precision. Tex Hoy, slippery as an eel, and on the back of that, Josh Griffin cannot stop scoring, and Hull have points on the board.
Well, great credit to the Black and Whites there, and great credit to their coach, because They did shift the ball in yardage, which disrupted the St Helens defensive line. And then once they got into the field position that was required, the fullback turned halfback, Texoy there, a bit of show and go between Lomax and Harrell. Through he goes, and Griffin there showing the semblance of a centre day there, support on the inside. Just a lovely little show and go. Harrell slightly got in front of Johnny Lomax. That's the gap he went through. Griffin's in support on the inside, and what a great riposte there by Hull FC.
Yeah, John, they spoke about it, didn't they, pre-game? It was all about throwing the ball about, testing this St Helens side. They did that early on in the tackle count, and they've got the just reward there. I think Lomax, maybe a little bit of a slip, but like you say, Conrad Hurrell just a little bit offside, getting in front of his inside man, and it just opened up that little bit of a gap, and Texoy didn't need inviting twice and showed his pace there and composure to find that try.
Sutcliffe boots it. A 2-point ball game. And we're still got a good hour plus to go in this one.
Yeah,
but it's shaping up nicely.
See it again there from Texoy, just a little bit of a dummy on the outside. The gap opens up and shows his pace. Griffin there supporting on the inside, as he should do, and he'll take that one put on a plate for him. And really important try after all the field position St Helens have had. It's really important and vital 6 points for Hull FC.
Falls off the tee, much to the amusement of the fans who have made the trip here to the MKM Stadium this afternoon. Saints restart. Fielded by Hoy, rattled in by Fash. The ferocity continues.
Go on.
Who will crack next? Sartai showing the power and strength, and then a high shot.
Yeah, I think it was sitting in on Sartai, and he really does cause problems because he does come from the back fences, this fella, and he ain't the smallest human being, is he? So he takes some handling. And it was an illegal challenge from Cernan there that's given Hull great field position.
Yeah, chance to tap. Tony Smith a little more satisfied, but still a pensive facial expression. Wigan against Warrington tomorrow, starting at 2:05. The 5 Live Rugby League podcast available right now on BBC Sounds. And Challenge Cup Extra, a chance for you to have your say. Contact us at BBCRL, the hashtag. That starts at 4:30. And the semi-finals, the next round where it all starts to boil down, July the 22nd and 23rd. Houghton, away to Truman. Cervelio, looking dangerous on this right side, Hull. Down to the last in this set. Truman, oh, he shanked that. Might well give Hull a chance here through the sheer awkwardness of it all. And the final pass lets Hull down. But some adventure there, and the Hull fans are appreciating it.
Yeah, unorthodox kick, that one, possibly not quite what he wanted out of it, but nearly came off for Hull FC there. Liam Sutcliffe gets up high, takes that one on the full, and then just can't quite find the pass off the back of it. I think if he could have done, I think Swift would have liked to back himself there one-on-one with Conrad Hurrell, but it shows that Hull FC are testing Saints. They're willing to try different things, and that's how they are going to disrupt this really solid defensive effort from St Helens.
And the atmosphere, Matt, really has ramped up, hasn't it? You know, the chorus of Old Faithful's been sounding out, and it's really lifted this Hull FC side.
Here comes Parsi on the field. Hurrell, should I say, who's thumping forward. Still yet to see Ignatius Parsi off the bench. He will bring plenty of fireworks too. Conrad Hurrell capable of them himself. Roby to Wormsley. It's the onslaught, isn't it? It's that juggernaut coming forth in the various shades of blue. Lomax on the back of that, trying to pick a short side. Still going, Johnny Lomax. Then he knocks on. In his eagerness to continue, won't get the ball back here.
It's great work from Griffin, though, isn't it? Working so hard from the inside, the big second rower, and he just wasn't going to be beaten. He was just so determined to close Lomax down, and ultimately he's forced the error.
So a chance for both sides just to take a gulp of oxygen. It's been a frenetic game.
It's been great. That's what we want. It's the quarter-final of the Challenge Cup. And It should be difficult to play.
Okay, ball in, shot clock off.
First quarter gone.
Out. He's done with it. Play on. He's done with it. He's done with it.
Now there's just 2 points in it. Saints in front at the
Move
moment.
loose. Go on. Curtis!
So McIntosh, sorry, who skitters forward, gets his side to halfway.
And one thing that's fascinating, Matt, if you look, we've got some stats in front of us, and they play the ball in the opposition 20. St Helens 12 and Hull 2. So it really, that gives you an indication of the territorial dominance of Saints.
The economy of effort from Hull in terms of their point scoring is Houghton has a sniff through the middle. Nothing doing that time, but he set aside an important platform. Keita onto Sartai. Now they're rolling things forward. Oh, he had to come out the line there, Tommy Makinson. And he gives Hull another opportunity.
Yeah, he had to shut that one down. Hull FC found the numbers on that left edge. Really great play there, and Texor just looking for that cut-out pass to find Adam Swift on the edge. Tommy Makinson just wanted to shut down that play and gets a hand to it. I think he was hoping maybe to control that one and see that open field ahead of him, but absolutely the right decision there to shut that play down.
It's been the right decision from Tony Smith as well, hasn't it, to put Hoy to half-back, because Litton's looked very sprightly at full-back, but Hoy playing in the house has looked excellent.
Yeah, the running game. Oh, smuggled away by Litton. Here comes Swift. Dancing forward. Tommy Makinson left down on the deck. In back play, he came out to make the shot. But it's Hull at the moment in the ascendancy. Hoy again causing problems. Griffin. Brains and brawn. In equal measure here from Hull. Hoy looks to take it in himself here. The defensive read. I'm sure he stopped in his tracks. Houghton though. Now Sartai. A collision for the ages. Alex Walmsley and Chris Sartai. Still play continues. Rolled in behind. Put behind by Saints. The dropout to come, and Hull starting to squeeze.
Well, that was worth the admission money, wasn't it? That collision there. My word, Sartai carrying the ball, Walmsley defending his line, and it was just boom, and nothing moved. They hit at high speed, and it just stopped dead. What a great collision. Fantastic.
Like, you just see the heads fly back, don't you? And you know that that's a really tough carry that he's took there. Alex Walmsley putting his body on the line, and St Helens adamant not to concede any points in that set.
Chris Sartai's at it again here. Oh, another shuddering meeting of minds.
Go back to the way.
Oh,
goodness me.
They'll be wishing Taylor was still out there, won't they?
A set restart too. Back to 0 on the tackle count.
Come on, nice and quick in the looks.
Hatred as who plays it. 25 out. Griffin looking to take Saints on.
Move, James.
It was a fantastic flick pass from Chris Sartai, and that thunderous collision before as well, which almost went unnoticed amid the fury and the ferocity. But Saints ramping up defensively here. Ritson involved, Dodd involved, Truman to Fash. Just another point setter. For the black and whites, who are marauding here. Taken in by Truman. Hoy, little short ball this time for Griffin. Scramble from Saints though. Talk about connected. They're holding their chalk at the moment. Ball into backfield. Matautia being to it. It ball breaks loose for Savelio. Andre Savelio might just have given Hull the lead here. But Chris Kendall is going to send this to the video referee. Tom Grant has a try-on-field decision to have a look through here.
Tackle 5, on-field call of the try, so we're checking onside, offside first. So everybody to the right of the kicker is onside, so we can play this through to the challenge, please. So a bit tighter on here, please. Just nice and tight on the challenge. This is the one. So the challenge is a contest. The ball Can we get anything from behind on that? I just want to see which way the ball goes in relation to the ground. So contest is fine. That clearly comes off of McIntosh. Get anything on from further back, please? Just want to check which way the ball travels in relation to the ground. So we're checking for a knock on at this. This is the one, yeah. On-field call of a try. Through to grounding, please. So the ball travels backwards in relation to the ground. Picked up clean. Thank you, made my decision.
So the MK Stadium waits in anticipation. Hull FC have snatched the lead. A kick to the corner, taken by McIntosh, finished by Savelio. The black and whites given the lead by a former Saint.
Well, Darnell McIntosh take a bow there, that leap just to get right high up, hands in the air, take that. A little bit of a contest there from Metalki, but not quite able to force the error from Darnell McIntosh, and then brilliantly picked up by Savelio there.
Sutcliffe launches it on its way, and the roof nearly comes off it at the MKM. It's a 4-point lead. And it's the way of the black and whites. And how swiftly a game can turn.
Well, the momentum really has swung, hasn't it? And the concerning thing for St Helens is the number of black and white shirts in comparison to the blue shirts. That's the reason that Savelio came up with the ball. There was more black and whites around the ball, and consequently your odds are higher, and they've come up with the try. Really energised Hull FC performance this is, and the momentum has flipped absolutely.
So Hull in front here. Let's get down to Damien Johnson at pitchside.
Well, there's bad injury news for both sides, Matt, because Mark Percival has failed his HIA. We saw him go down with that crash with Brad Fash. His race is run. And for Hull FC, Scott Taylor has gone to hospital. He's got a dislocated shoulder. They can't force it back in. So he's finished for the afternoon as well.
Good that time by Wormsley.
Go free. Play on free.
Twimavave gets an offload away. Houghton, second phase here from Hull. Oh, tiptoeing stuff from Keita.
Four. Now James. Hold Alex.
The scores are really energised. This black and white side. Savelio grinding forward and stomping out yards.
Go, Matty Lazy to be out.
Houghton, this is the last one. Truman manages to get his kick away. Hooked back towards the sideline where Ritson's waiting, and he just peeled away. And he's still going here, T. Ritson, and you don't want to give him open field.
Here we are, wait, go on.
Yeah, did well there, T. Ritson, to just ride that tackle. You could see the onslaught of Hull FC defenders who were looking confident earlier in that play. Brad Fash throwing his hands in the air. He wanted to play earlier in the set, but a nice composed set from Hull FC. T. Ritson doing really well there to get St Helens back on the front foot.
We know both these teams can hit from anywhere. Parsi is on now and bringing that full throttle approach to this Saints forward line. Roby picking off the back of that. Lomax goes in himself here, Johnny Lomax. Last tackle, but they have marched downfield, Saints, into a good position.
Clear.
Dodd puts it up, making it a contest. Litton takes that in goal. Brilliantly done from David Litton there, because he could see the chasers coming and kept his cool.
Yeah, so it's a tap 20 there, and interesting with Parsi, as you indicated, come on, and James Bell also, I think, had an excellent season up to now, and obviously Coach Paul Wellens trying to flip this momentum once again in St Helens way.
Houghton. Here come Hull, looking to test out Saints middle.
Go two.
Hull at the moment, just leading the possession count, but it's not blown out in either way, really. That one.
Move! Good listening, well done.
So Hull looking to spring something here. Stooping, take from Truman, gets an offload away for Twimavave. Those offloads are starting to cause a bit of chaos.
Lost the ball.
Yeah, now they might cause chaos for this Hull FC team. It looks like they lost that ball and it's St Helens' possession.
But that's when Jake, wasn't it? But that's when Jake Truman's at his best. That it really is when it just takes the line on with his step. And although it didn't quite work out there, I'm sure that he will be encouraged to continue that.
Makinson loses it in contact. Did it go backwards? Chris Kendall says play on.
Wait.
And he has stayed down in back play. He's trying to stretch out his leg. He looks in some agony. That'll be a big loss. Roby, meanwhile, Saints can't stand on ceremony. Here comes Sirenen. Makinson being guided away. Looking in real pain. So that will force a reshuffle.
He's coming towards the sideline, isn't he? And there's a stop play of James Bell there where he just skips and short pass to another big guy. Forwards interplaying with each other.
Dodd takes it to the line, Lee's on a short ball. Well stopped that time by Hull. In a strong position. Set restart here. Roby takes it on himself on the back of that. Stomping downfield, and suddenly Saints are in a dangerous position again. Dodd to Bell. Bell looking to promote. Has to take the tackle. Roby out to Dodd. Sent packing by Sartai. Offside penalty. They can really turn the screw here.
Yeah, well, I think that's the right call because there's some tired Hull FC players there, and you just feel Saints have just clawed the way back into the game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he took an awkward step while he was trying to take that ball forward. So Joey Lusick has come on.
Yeah, so Roby's playing as a 13.
So reshuffles all over the shop. Hurl to the wing, Batchelor to the centre. Everyone fanning out here as Parsey takes it in. Saints really testing Hull's mettle. Ferocity again. Dodd. Now Lomax. Just seeing whether those defenders are sliding. Trying to catch them off. But not that time. Lusick. Lusick with a goal line sneak. Just short again. Roby finds Lomax. Will it be a kick? It'll be a pass to Sirenen. Gets an offload away. They'll come again here. Now it's Bell. Thumping hit.
Yeah, Sutcliffe wasn't it? Great solid defence there with Hoy and Sutcliffe.
Kicking behind it for Dodd. Houghton got the crucial touch. They'll have to drop out, but that would have been a try always up otherwise.
Yeah, they'll be relieved there, just taking some air in the lungs. Looks like a tired Hull FC defence now. They've done a lot of work over the last 5 minutes. They'll be really wanting to take this time now and reset for another onslaught of this St Helens attack. But this right edge has actually been defending really well. They've been pushing up, putting pressure on and shutting down the left edge attack of St Helens. So we'll see if they can hold out for the next set.
It's a big set, no doubt about it. This is a big set because, as Jodie's rightly said, there's been plenty of defence on that online defence from Hull FC. And they're trying to buy as much territory as they could and almost over the sideline.
Conrad Hurl managed to snare that before it went out of play, although it might have been going out on the full that, but rescued it either way. Matty Lees has Lusick poised for the service from Acton half. Dodd with the footwork. Have Saints stop play here potentially, have they? Lewis Dodd. Sarte look to be pointing to the referee. They will play on. Lusick brings Parsey forward. Flings an offload. Lomax picking off the back of that. Now there's a bit of chaos. Now there maybe might be some space. But you have to credit Hull. They jammed well. Saints still on the prowl here. Dodd to Lomax. Wellesby chiming in. Throws the ball wide. Conrad Hurl. Super work from Saints. Beautifully created. Take Tommy Makinson out of the team and they just pick up where they left off. gets the try. We're all square with a kick to come.
Yeah, great work from St Helens then. You just sense that they were ready to score because that whole defence have been working so hard, and there's only so many times you can stop that constant flow of attack. And ultimately, it was a really well-constructed try that released Conrad Harel, who's now featuring on the wing, and it's a left-to-right shift. And it was Welsby's ball that was the money ball. Over the top, Swift and Sutcliffe both go for the same man. Swift just jams in. That creates the space for Harel, and Welsby's good enough to spot that, and over it goes, and in he goes, the big fella, and he's smart there, just getting another 10 metres towards the post to make it easy for the goal kicker.
And a little kiss for the camera as well, kiss for the fans. It's his favourite, so Joey Lussick is going to have a pop from the tee. Having just come on in the absence of Tommy Makinson. So Joey Lussick, who has kicked 49 goals in his career, both here and in the NRL, sends that one on its way, and he's missed the chance to make it 50. But it is all square, and boy, we have a cup tie.
Yeah, what a try from St Helens, and like you say, a lot of people moving in different positions. And don't underestimate the involvement there from Lewis Dodd. He'd previously on the floor, was struggling to even stand to his feet, but recognises the need to jump in, act as a set hand so that St Helens can play on that left edge. It meant that Lomax could find that pass to Jack Welsby, who just gets on the outside of Tex Hoy, showing him too much pace there. And, you know, it's difficult to go from fullback into that standoff position and then have to defend in the line. It's a completely different skill set, and Tex Hoy just got caught there a little bit, just a bit too tight on the inside of Welsby, which gave him time to get on the edge and find that brilliant pass.
So we are set up now, 5 minutes to the break, and it's anybody's game. Turn back on the inside for Bell. Tries to rip his way through that whole defensive line. Lussick to Roby. Now Lees. Big minutes from him again.
It's been intense, hasn't it, Matt? You know, it's been an intense games. Momentum does shift, and that's why it's been so entertaining. And I think the score, bro's a fair old reflection of what we've seen out here for the first 36 minutes or so.
Yeah, we wondered how Hull were going to cope without Jake Clifford, and they have shown everybody here that they are more than ready to mix it. Unfortunate there from Lussick, his kick just pitched the wrong side of the corner flag, or post, or whatever you want to call it. And either way, Hull are coming forward. Tuivasa just drops that one off.
Move!
So Hull
James, wait.
Moving through the gears here. Houghton turned back by Truman into the traffic with Tuivasa. Houghton. Now Lingy Sawu's come on. Tex Hoy, there's big space on that left-hand side. Oh, Swift couldn't take it in, but otherwise that was set up brilliantly.
Yeah, it was, and the defenders from St Helens, but it's just that touch too high for Adam Swift to reel in. But they're certainly asking questions of this St Helens defence. It's been such an entertaining and open game with so much at stake.
Thanks, Jake.
So Saints here
line,
survive that raid. Parsi with the play the ball, and Sione Matautia muscles up for the red V in the blue V. T. Ritson. Not really seen him as a running threat so far, but he's got it in his locker, that's for sure. Lomax, another little pop that time for James Bell.
Chris, step back, Chris, step back.
As slow play the ball. Sutcliffe trying to extricate himself from the tackle, didn't do it quickly enough. And so it's a set restart. So another set here for Saints to play with, and that was a knock-on, was it, to play the ball? And having been given another set, they've coughed up the ball. At times the care of the ball from both teams has just been a little lacking.
Yeah, and it was an incorrect play of the ball, quite rightly spotted by Chris Kendall. Just catches it with his foot. And as the Hull FC players appeal, and they got their appeal granted. So if it's an incorrect play of the ball's simply handed over at that point to the opposition to restart play.
Move, Joey!
I mean, you don't mind your team making errors if it's in the course of adventuring or trying to play something, trying to run a play, but you don't really want to be doing it when it's a simple basics as a play the ball.
Yeah, we've seen 5 errors from St Helens, 6 from Hull FC, which is probably evident in the scoreline of how equal it is. Both will be wanting to cut those out, but you would like to say Hull FCs are probably coming when they're more testing the St Helens defence. Some of St Helens errors are unforced errors in the wrong part of the field.
Griffin wedging himself in that Saints line.
The running Josh Griffin at Johnny Lomax, aren't there? My word. You certainly know Josh Griffin is, Bill, Johnny Lomax, with the number of tackles he's making on him.
Well, Tex Hoyer with a bounce pass, inadvertently, of course. Tuimavave turns a mixed ball into a good one. Last one here for Hull. Houghton back to Jake Truman, who's going to go for the drop and fluffs it.
Well, that's worth the shot for me. It is, because it's the last set they'll obviously get, and although that's a 7 tackle set because it was an attempted drop goal and he missed, they won't get the 7 tackles because there's only 15 seconds left. So a decent decision, just not executed well enough.
Yeah, smart play, like you say, not executed, but right decision there from Jake Truman, who really is coming into this side. I think has been a real shift in Hull's form has been since Jake Truman's been come back into this side after injury, and he's showing his form today.
Last knock-ins of this first half, and it's a penalty for Saints. So the timekeeper's clock obviously not quite in sync with ours.
Well, if Tommy Nimakison was on the field, I'd kick it as deep as possible, and then I'd just pass it to Tommy to have a drop goal. But I don't know who they'd go to for such a thing. So it might be just a high kick and a Hail Mary.
Yeah, maybe one last
we'll see.
Chance here. Lusick pumps that one to touch.
Line.
Lewis Dodd, repeat of the World Cup Challenge.
So there's a siren, so it really is Hail Mary stuff. They'll go down the short side, and that is a slightly underwhelming finish to what has been a terrific first half otherwise.
Yeah, what a great first 40 minutes we've had there. Both teams contributing greatly. Both teams throwing the kitchen sink at each other, both physically and through the skill levels. And it's been a great first 14. I think 12 apiece is... Oh, it's sent just... Well, what a way to finish the half.
It wasn't entertaining enough, so they just thought they'd mix it up there, eh, John?
So Josh Griffin... So he's given Josh Griffin a yellow initially, and it continues his diatribe by the sounds of it. Chris Kendall's had enough, sent him off, so he was sin-binned in the quarterfinals. He's been sent off, I should say in the 6th round, sent off in the quarterfinals. 12 apiece, what a first half. Alex Wormsey is at pitch side with Damien Johnson.
Alex, we've just seen Josh Griffin dismissed. How does that change your half-time team talk?
I don't think it changes the team talk at all. We've lost 2 outside backs. We're going to have to do it tough today. So, listen, that don't change anything. I think there's a lot of areas we need to improve ourselves before we worry about the opposition.
Thanks, Alex. Danny Houghton's in. A shock dismissal just on the whistle there, Josh Griffin. Did you see what happened?
I didn't, mate. No, I was walking off there. Obviously, going to put us up against it, but we'll show fighting spirit and we'll come out swinging.
This is a really tight game, isn't it? As tight as you expected?
It is. We sort of did a lot of defending early on, but showed a little bit of steel and found the way up here and came up with some points. So, same again second half.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, mate.
Well, that half had a little bit of everything, and we are inside the Hull dressing room now. I wonder whether Tony Smith might be just being made aware now of what has happened at the end. If he was making his way in, he might be unaware of it until his staff talk to him, Jamie Peacock.
Yeah, I don't think he will be aware of it. Normally the coach gets into the dressing room a couple of minutes before and just be watching for the TV. I mean, that's a big loss for Hull. They've thrown so much effort and commitment into this first half and made it an outstanding Challenge Cup tie so far, and that's just stupidity, really, from Griffin.
I mean, we'll look at all the incidents in the first half in a minute, but they've fought themselves back, got themselves back into it. They are more than St Helens equal. And then through what looks like, I mean, we'd have to go back through the pictures, which we'll do, but what looks like, as Jamie says, sheer stupidity and dissent. Yeah. They've put themselves at a massive disadvantage.
I speak about it most weeks. I don't like the dissent in the game. It used to be, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. And we see it spilling over into the community games from the touchline respect. So I respect the referees for dealing with that and doing what they need to do, but it has spoiled what has been an outstanding game.
I mean, we were walking down the touchline, we heard a noise, turned round and saw the red card up in the air. So let's have a look at the pictures.
Can you imagine
again?
Tony Smith now at half-time? He's already in there. He's like, what's happened? Josh Griffin's not happy with something's gone against him. He starts here. He starts giving it to him. Chris Kendall listens for a bit. There's a tiny bit of contact. He gives him a yellow. At this point now, you've just got to take your medicine. He keeps going.
John,
and it's red.
John, you know what? There's 2 arguments you don't win in life. With your teenage daughters and with referees. I was thinking he's still
the similarities in that.
Keep your mouth shut.
It's tragic. It's tragic for Hull. Because you're right, what they've done, and Josh Griffin and co, what they've done is scrap the way into a game. They've disrupted St Helens. They've made the game turn in their favour. And that is just a hammer blow through Hull's hearts right on half-time here.
And I tell you, you can feel it around here, and we're going to come on to this again in a moment, the effect of the crowd. But you can, all that energy and passion that they had has just dipped.
Well, I said right at the beginning of the game that they need to invite the crowd in. Really, the teams match fire with fire against St Helens because nobody can stay at that level. Hull weathered the storm for the first quarter of the game, I felt, and then raised them, matched them, and just kept going. And they've been the better team, energy-wise, and they've invited the crowd into it. And you felt the second half was going to be an even better contest, and you had the real big chance, but that's put a spanner in the works for Hull.
Let's get through the actual on-field action. We spent a long time pre-match talking about Hull's weakness down their right side.
Would you believe it?
Saints have scored both tries down Hull's left side. Let's see the first one.
Yeah, well, this came actually off an error from the man who's just been sent off. Griffin fighting to play the ball quickly. Hull had only just got possession there, so it was a disappointing error to concede, and that'll be the last error he makes in the game. Look, Welsby there just drives into the line. We spoke about Jack Welsby's influence, but you've got to look at his combination and how slick Welsby, Dodd and Lomax's movement.
It's just great hiding behind the other side, the combination between the two of them. And then Batchelor, I love this line. It's really uncompromised. He's got Lomax out the back as a decoy. This is Saints at the best. Everybody knowing what they're doing, everybody doing the roles, and everybody doing it with 100% intensity.
And from that point, Saints were great up until that point. And something happened, didn't it? And the game changed. And I felt like Hull just really got into St Helens for a period and made it feel scrappy. It felt scrappy, the game, didn't it?
Scott Taylor, Brad Fash, Sarte come on force because Taylor's gone off. They just raised that level and matched them. And I think, listen, we talked about Tony Smith having that real quiet temperance before the game. You could smell that there was something coming, some high energy, and it's got them back into it.
And I mean, we were thinking Saints could run away with this, even after just one try, because everything was on the front foot. And then we watched this. You immediately, Jamie, in my ear went, that's a red card.
Yeah, I thought this was a card. You know, if he's given a penalty within this, there's shoulder contact on the head. Given where the game's at the moment, with looking after players and contact in and around the head, you can see there's a drop on the shoulder through the head. There's intent with it.
It's a red card. It's a red card. We don't want any contact with a head mark in the modern game. We don't want any contact. It doesn't matter where it happens. We need to get it out of the game in all forms, accidental or not. We need to get head contacts out of our game.
And our seats for the half. Percival walked past us, and look, I didn't look in a great way as he walked past us. What's baffling is that he's put on report, a penalty is given, but no card is shown, either yellow and red. Does that baffle you?
Not really, it's a contest. It's a Challenge Cup contest, and you have to look at the rules. If that's the definitive answer, you've got to send him off. If it is a penalty, then so be it. Well, he sent somebody off anyway, so they're a numerical disadvantage out there coming into this second half. But I just like the intent from Fash. He didn't get it right there, but the OSC fans have come out with a real intent. That's Matt St Helens that's kept him in this game.
I thought it ignited the crowd, didn't it?
It changed the atmosphere.
The energy went up, the players' energy went up from all, and they were back in the game.
And do you know what Hull did with that energy and attitude? They took St Helens on. So Josh Griffin and Tex Hoy created a try on their right-hand side, and then Hull perpetually peppered the right edge of St Helens, and it bore fruit for them. So we spoke about which way around the sides might play. Well, we got it wrong, didn't we? Saints got pumped on their right-hand side. Tommy Makinson comes up with one. Let's not forget, they've already scored a try down that side that we've not seen here. Griffin runs a great line, just challenging St Helens right. Off the back of that, it's a kick, and an accurate kick from Tex Hoy, and Savelli ends up scoring. And Hull will be just crushed by that just before half-time.
And due to the intensity of the game, you've got Matautia there challenging for that ball instead of Percival. And that's the difference, and that's what gives Savelli a chance to pick up and get them in front.
I just think it's smart tactics. If you're always tacking the Saints' right-hand side, they're going to have to get numbers there, which means when you kick long back to the left, they're going to lack numbers. You've got more chance of getting a high kick when you go across.
Yeah, well, we were waiting for some key players to get into the game, and we were just waiting, and we said on the sideline, Jack Wellesby's going to have an influence here, and we saw that absolutely, didn't we, in the Conrad Hull try.
Yeah, we've been wondering what he was doing in the game. He'd been very, very quiet. And again, John Kay said in commentary, it's the money ball. He nails the money ball again right at the end.
And it was game on here. It was just absolutely game on. And we see again, look, Dodd's movement, Lomax is involved again, Wellesby gets it, and it's an easy try really for St Helens in the end.
And I think Tex Hoy's got his man there. I don't think Swift needs to come in because Sutcliffe has got them both covered for me. There's this myth in my eyes that you can't get beat on your inside shoulder. Well, sometimes you've got to wedge your bets in moments like that, and Swift's just got to stay out.
I just think this game's had everything. I've loved it. Do you know what? Yeah. I've really loved it. What about the tackle between Walmsley and Satai? We're not seeing that. I mean, that rocked the foundations of this stadium.
To be honest, even half-time had something, as whilst John was talking, there was a man dressed as a penguin trying to kick a rugby ball into a van. So, I mean,
it's got everything.
It's got absolutely everything. Let's go back to the end of last year and have some Rugby League World Cup memories with Damien.
Yes, because 4 of the wheelchair team, the England team that won the World Cup at the back end of last year, have been awarded honours in the King's Birthday Honours, including, I'm delighted to say, James Simpson, who's with me. James, your first reaction to becoming an MBE?
Yeah, it's quite surreal. When you play a team sport, the team gets the accolades, and that's what it's about. And getting singled out as one of the players of the team to receive an award, it's quite a daunting thing to start off with, but then you kind of realise that the work and all the sacrifices you made along the way, and for me, being an ambassador for the World Cup, talking about the game, preaching about the wheelchair game, going out there and doing my best to help the World Cup be as big as it was, that's the main reason for this MBE, and that makes me feel really proud of the work I put in all the way up to the World Cup to get the game where it was. So it's an amazing feeling. It's hard keeping it secret for a month when you can't tell anyone, but apart from that, yeah, it's absolutely incredible feeling. It's an incredible feeling for the 4 of us who've been selected from the team to receive awards.
Has the game kicked on since your success back at the end of last year?
Absolutely hugely. I mean, at Leeds last year, we'd maxed out at 10 players. This year we've got 33. We've split into a junior under-16s team, a development team, a first team. So I've taken over coaching within the team as well, and I've gone from coaching 8 to 10 players to dealing with 33 players, some who won a World Cup final last year, down to some who are in their first month of playing the game. But having over 30 players now involved in the club, and that's happening in other clubs across the country as well, and it's all down to the success of that World Cup, and we're hugely seeing it now.
How disappointing then, after the success of last year, that the next World Cup in France has been postponed or cancelled?
Yeah, I was a big advocate of France. You know, I want France to be a really strong nation in rugby league. They're a strong wheelchair nation. We want a strong women's and a strong men's tournament as well. And I want France to be the glory it used to be. I mean, the World Cup trophy is named after a Frenchman, so we want to get it back to that, really. Yeah, it's disappointing. I had really high hopes for what France could produce, but whoever swoops in and takes it next, hopefully will do a really good job.
I've worn the suit in honour of the occasion. Everyone else is cash, it looks like, today. What do we address you as now?
Well, I thought 'cause I'm not a player anymore. The rest of the England team are in camp today. They're actually training, so I was like, I'll go for quite a summery look, get some palm trees on and just enjoy the weather.
James, MBE, sir, thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much to James and Damien Teethis to clear up. He was obviously an early bird, not a penguin, although it definitely looked like a penguin to me. Secondly, back to the Josh Griffin red card. The original yellow card was for dissent when he was telling the referee that he didn't think it was a penalty for his tackle on Hull. That's what we understand.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look, the yellow card and the dissent, right, that's your warning, isn't it? Right, here you are, just... I mean, just the timing of it, Mark. The timing of why.
I mean, decisions like that are 10 a penny in a game.
I just don't get it. Do you think he's going to go, yeah, you're right, actually, we'll give you a penalty at the start of the second half. Thanks for bringing that over.
It's selfish.
Me, you know.
It's selfish, isn't it?
I think it just changes what
It's
Hull
a
have got
culture
to do.
shift. It didn't used to be like that. It's a culture shift. I don't know where it's come from, but it needs getting rid of.
But also, Jamie, nothing actually happened as a result of that penalty in the end. We were in the last 15 seconds. Well, we were actually on the hooter, weren't we? Nothing came of it. It's not like they scored a penalty from it or scored a try from it. It was done and dusted. Pointless. Done and dusted and move on, really.
Yeah, done and dusted and moves on the right way to do it. Absolutely pointless, stupid, and the final part is selfish towards your team. You know, he's been a really important part of why Hull have been playing well in the first 40 minutes. Now he's gone, and that weapon's gone out of their game plan, and they're down to 12 men.
Well, sometimes one person can win you a game, can't they? Well, unfortunately, the flip to that is one person can lose you a game. Now, if Hull go on and lose this game, you know, if you're Josh Griffin in the changing rooms, you're feeling incredibly bad about things.
At 12-all, though, how good could it be
it could be amazing.
Result today? How empowering is that for all I see going forward?
I think as well, it's a good time. If there's ever a good time someone to get sent off, it's when your coach can talk to your players for 12 minutes and you can digest what's going on and come out with a different game plan.
It is, although if it happens in a game, as we saw with the Brad Fash decision, it then lifts a crowd who will feel a sense of injustice because it happened so late on and sort of went by the by. You won't get that same.
And it almost took the plug out the bath, didn't it? The atmosphere just went down the drain. And now the question is, can Hull FC create, and the Hull FC fans, who are an incredible group of fans, create some atmosphere in the second half, because the team are going to need it. I agree with Jamie, this could be an unbelievable day for Hull FC, but if it's not, we've got a reason.
What you would say from a St Helens point of view is that they'll have some concerns themselves. No Bart Percival now, Tommy Makinson going off as well. Not only concerns for this afternoon, but going forward as well.
Yeah, they'll find a way and they'll get Wellesby with a bit more ball in his hand. And look, they've been clunky. Was talking about it on the bench there about how fluid St Helens haven't been. They haven't been at their best, but I think a lot of that is because Hull FC have been in their face, have taken the fight to them, they've got at it. But St Helens have got the firepower to do a job this half for sure.
Both sides making their way back out. The City of Hull already have one team in the Challenge Cup semi-finals. Hull KR beat Salford a little earlier on today. If the other team are going to make it into the semi-finals, they're going to have to go some with a man down in this second half. Let's rejoin Jody, John and Matt.
Cheers, chappers. Liam Sutcliffe prepares to restart this game, and Hull are going to have to call on every single one of those decked in black and white around the MKM Stadium. What would be their 18th man is going to have to be the 17th and probably 16th, given the injury to Scott Taylor. Down on interchange, down on personnel. We're ready to go for the second half. It's all square. Sutcliffe with the restart, taken in by T. Ritson and bashed forward by Ignatius Parsi. How key, how crucial, how much of a game changer was that red card?
It was massive, wasn't it? I mean, as the guys pointed out, you know, Hull FC will have spoken about their defensive structure with that, and whether the full-back defends more in the line for a greater period of time. And Saints may well slightly amend their attacking structure, take it to the middle of the field, and if there's an orthodox split, it becomes 5-4. You attack where the 4 is, so fascinating to see how it will unfold.
It is. It was a complete turn, like you say, John. If you look at the stats, you know, you mentioned play the balls in the opposition half. It was still heavily in St Helens' favour with 23 versus 7 to Hull FC. So actually, the fact that the scoreboard is what it was, with St Helens having so many advantages when it comes down to some of the stats and possession elements, they should have been really happy going in at half-time, and that just absolutely dampened that for them.
Oh, Lusick manages to pick that one up on the tap back. Lomax has spotted space here behind. Conrad Hurl against Tex. Oh, it's a fumble with the line beckoning from Joe Batchelor.
Well, it was just a chaotic end, wasn't it? It really was. It was an indifferent kick to start with, and then there was just a passage of play, and Johnny Lomax reads the situation really well, and Batchelor with the line open just spills the ball, and that's a certain 4-point gunner begging.
I mean, the bounce couldn't have been kinder, could it? It just pitched away from Tex Hoy. And Lingy Sao now for Hull. So still fairly equal in terms of the tackles. Hull making a little bit more, but they're going to have to maintain that defensive effort in the second half. Down to 12. Josh Griffin sent off after the hooter. Pretty much for continuing his appeal to the referee, Chris Kendall.
Well, it was just a brain explosion, wasn't it? No doubt about that, but it's had consequences for his mates. It really has.
It's interesting to see, as you say, how Saints cope with the pressure of having to score points against 12. So 42 minutes. So it'll be a slug to touch from Hoy, and a chance for Hull to test out what Saints' defensive steel is all about here.
Chris Satai again causing damage in the St Helens defensive line. He's been dangerous since he's been on the field, really difficult to handle, and earns that penalty, and really great field position for Hull FC.
We'll be getting some news from Damien in just a moment, but Hull in a promising position here. All square at the moment. Satai and a set restart to boot. Struggling to put him down. Eventually they topple him. But he has set his side an attacking point that they will dream of here. Hoy throws the dummy. Oh, and then the ball squirts loose. Saints will eventually get this one back. All square here. Let's go down to Damien at pitch side.
Yeah, Matt, I just grabbed a quick word with Gareth Ellis, the assistant Hull coach, who said that at half-time Tony Smith had demanded his players don't feel sorry for themselves after the dismissal of Josh Griffin. He says if they're to win this game, it requires an extra special performance. We'll see if they can produce one.
Matty, come on, don't take me on back to back. Let's go, pat down. Wait, I'll tell you when, Lewis. I'll tell you when, Lewis. Head in, ball in.
Thank you, Damien.
Chocolate off. Out!
All square.
Come on, Liggy.
Lusick. Matautia's turn.
That was a big header though, wasn't it, Matt? Because they just had another 6 again, so it was on play 1 of that set, camped on the St Helens line. So a massive header there from Tex Hoy, who's had a real good game up to then.
Wellsby wriggles clear. Desperate attempt by Danny Houghton. The hitman making a crucial tackle there. Lusick picks up the back of that. Now Roby, it's 100 miles an hour stuff from Saints. Rolling Hull back towards their own line. Dodd, Lomax to Sirenen.
Great defence. That's outstanding work there. The 3-in defender there, Jake Truman, he closed 2 players down just by hard work.
Parsley's turn. Punching forward for Saints. Now Dodd, short ball for Sirenen! And they can't stop him from there! Bulldozing run from Curtis Sirenen. And it's another score for Saints, and they retake the lead here.
Yeah, simple play again by St Helens. They just do the basics really well, and when they do that, they're so difficult to handle. Just really dig into this line. Lewis Dodd takes them on a short side, and just a nice strong line off the shoulder from Curtis Sirenen there, and it was just too much for the Hull FC defence to handle. Tumavavi there just can't quite get body in front, cuts on an inside, and Andre Savelio there, I think if he had his time again would want to do better, but brilliant strength there from Sirenen, and well-deserved try.
Yeah, they've just been on the front foot all through that set, and the ruck speed was just too quick. He felt it was a valiant effort from Hull up to then, but then obviously it came through the inside shoulder of Tumavavi, and over he goes, and Saints are back in front. And now you can really ask some question marks of the mental toughness of the Hull FC players. They're 12 men, down to 12 men, just conceded a try. Challenge Cup quarter-final, they'll have to be resilient, they'll have to dig deep in order to have any chance whatsoever.
So Joey Lussick, Paul Wellens fairly sanguine about things, even though his side have just taken the lead again. Or Friesenhout alongside him in the box. So Joey Lussick, how's your heartbeat doing now as he looks to send this one towards the posts from that left-hand side, wraps his foot round it, and this time it's good. 8 points, should I say 6 points in it. 18-12, St Helens lead Hull.
There's some real good work here by the big second rower, who's had a great season. But Dodd just took it out the line, provided a lovely weighted pass, and there was just no stopping him from there because it was all back foot defence that Hull had to do through the previous set.
Booted downfield, Ritson receives. Parsi picks up the baton. Well, the atmosphere here, it's the Saints fans we can hear cheering of Wembley, thoughts of Wembley, still a long way to go. Here comes Roby.
Oh, make sure we get square up marker, Chris. Go for it.
Lussick picks off the back of that. James Bell, who's been busy, typically busy. Just beyond halfway, Lussick on the back of that with a surge, likes to run from acting half, testing those defensive reads from Hull. Lytton under the pump here, the kick into backfield, and he was snared by the chase.
Good composure though, wasn't it, by the youngster there? Eye on the ball throughout, and he knew that there was a Saints chase coming down on him, but he just pounced the ball and relieved the pressure slightly.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with David Lytton at the back. Calm, composed. There's been a couple of kicks from St Helens that have not quite gone where they wanted it to, and you know he's making the right decisions at the right time, filling in for Tex Hoy there at the back, which is just really firmed off this Hull FC side.
Chris Sartai launches Hull to halfway. Under the wing. Although put to the floor and onto his back. What about the kick from Hoy? Hang time. Wellsby takes it. Immediately those Saints on the front foot looking to take Twimavave on the outside. T. Ritson. And just thought a little better of it. No route through for him that time. Matautia, he was packaged up there by Danny Houghton. He won't be the first, he won't be the last. Siranen.
He's having a really good game, isn't he? Good. I think both second rows for St Helens, Batchelor and Siranen, have been outstanding.
Lomax almost through, a little ankle tap stopped him. What penalty here? Was it more than an ankle tap? It was a trip, says Chris Kendall. The ire of the Hull fans just rises again. Well, it's Cater scrambling across, isn't it?
It's a bit harsh for me, that. That's just a collision when he's trying to make a tackle. If you can't tackle at the head, you can't tackle around the legs. Where can you tackle them?
Touch and pass soon again, John. Lussick sends that one to touch, so it's a fortuitous penalty to some extent. But it certainly puts Saints in position here. Lussick to Dodd, Parsi. He is up and down. And all the better for it. But he's being marched back, looking to promote that time. Can't get the pass away. Well locked up that time by Jordan Lane. Dodd gets it away to Lees. Sartai has finally taken a break on the bench with Lane coming on. Dodd finds Lomax out the back. Wellsby. Sutcliffe jammed in, and Sutcliffe makes a big challenge. Key tackle. Lomax to Parsi. Thought he spotted some space, but Hull shut the door, but they are certainly banging on it here. Wellsby flashes the pass. Batchelor took it brilliantly, but was stopped in his tracks. Still one tackle left in the set here. Wellesby trying to wriggle away. Gets it back to Parsi. Parsi gets it back to Roby. Lomax with a scuff of a kick. Batchelor can't clean it up. And in the end, that wasn't exactly prime time Saints.
No, but let's give some credit to Hull FC. They were all over the shop there. Their defensive structure was shot to pieces, and it was just the want to defend that helped defuse that situation.
Yeah, when you go down a player, you expect that they'd get that numerical advantage on the edge, and Saints just not quite able to find that. They usually can find it when there's 13 players on the field. So Hull FC defending and shifting to the edges really well and just forcing some unexpected errors there from St Helens.
Yeah, game still within Hull's grasp, that's for sure. Lane throws the pass. Truman, what a ball that is! On their way here! Darnell McIntosh hits the accelerator here for Hull. Skips past one, drifted in field. Caught up with eventually. But he's turned defence into attack here. Brilliant break from Hull FC. Hoy injects into the line, throws the pass, gathered by Sutcliffe. Swift's turn. Oh, the ball went forward, says Chris Kendall.
Well, they're taking a few risks and they're getting some rewards, especially early on. That pass from Truman was absolutely sensational that released the Hull FC player down the right-hand side. Just watch this. What a great pass that is. And it allowed McIntosh really to eat the ground up. He got it away from Ritson, but great full back play from Wellesby. And then it's such a shame then that they're taking further risks. That's okay, but it's the pass from Sutcliffe that was deemed forward. Well, you may well have an argument with 1 or 2 in this stadium about that.
So Saints on the back of that, looking to reply with a bit of a length of the field break of their own. Wormsley back on. Ignatius Parsi making way. Saints rotating their pack with the numerical advantage. No Josh Griffin, sent off after the half-time hooter. And Hull down to 12. Lomax skipping and again poking his nose through. He's having some joy. Just needs to pop one off to one of those on his shoulder. Here comes Wormsley. Lussick waits at acting half. Saints are chewing up yards here as Dodd sends one into backfield. Davy Litton claimed that and then continues his run. And
I think the referee called him offside, did he? And that's what he's gone back for. The chase from that kick was offside, and that allowed Litton to make that half break, but when he didn't capitalise upon it and lost the ball, he went back to the original offence, which was offside from the kick against St Helens.
That gives Hull some hope. Slug to touch by Hoy, a tap on the 40. And Savelio might just guide them close to halfway here.
Move, step back, James.
So Power played that time short by Dwyer into Jordan Lane. Fash lurking for the next ball.
Here we are.
Cater's there too. Instead it goes out the back. Hoy. Missed pass. Missed by everybody. Mopped up by Swift. And he palms off Lees. And then again. And rescues the situation for Hull. Sutcliffe. Jinking run from him.
Oh no, James!
Halted that time by Lees and Roby as skipping a jump down this left edge from Joe Cater that time. Dwyer fizzes in field. Truman to Hoy. Hoy spots the space in behind. That's a good read at the back. And you've got to get up early to beat Jack Wellesby on one of those.
Yeah, good set from Hull FC there. Really trying to move the ball around. It's difficult when you're a player down, and it looks like a little bit of untidy play of the balls again, but being told to take the ball back, play the ball, and this is where St Helens will start to tire out Hull FC. They've been had to do a lot of defending. You're doing even more work when you're a player down. And then St Helens really good at making those meters coming out of backfield. They're going to have to really dig into the tank now, Hull FC.
Obviously on one of those marauding surges for Saints, and then Lusick spots some space, looking for the 40-20. It hasn't got the legs, it hasn't got the trajectory, but it does force Davy Litton into the corner.
I'm going to say it's still a good kick, isn't it? You know, just looking at the field position, the territory that he's gained there. Litton's playing the ball simply 11 metres from his own goal line, and the Saints' full defensive line is already there.
No route through the middle. On the back of that for Darnell McIntosh either. Truman works it out to Tuamavave on that right side, and he is an evasive runner if he can get his legs going. Trying to play quick down that right-hand side now with Savelio. But Saints smothering. Dwyer waits at acting half. Truman to Hoy. Now Litton, now there's an overlap on here, maybe Litton with the pass over the top, scurrying down that side comes Sutcliffe.
Great tackle, Lomax. And it needed to be, it absolutely needed to be.
Cater to Litton, to Fash, bit of a juggle, and it buys him an extra second. Bizarrely, Hoy with the kick, not textbook, Ritson takes it. This is dangerous here, because T. Ritson can shift. And T. Ritson's trying to shift, and T. Ritson now looking to hit top gear, holding up Hoy, but what a tackle. Cover tackle, Tex Hoy.
Well, what never say die spirit this Hull FC side have got.
Here comes Dodd. Dodd plants it down. They stop Ritson, but they couldn't stop Dodd. And Saints stretch out the lead to 10 and might just be taking their place in the Challenge Cup semi-finals. Plenty of time left for Hull, but the momentum has swung Saints' way.
Well, there were some tight efforts, weren't there, on T. Ritson early on. It looks as if he'd been snared there, but just got himself free. And you thought then that was it, because he has got pace, but what work from Hoy there. Just, they're not giving in, they're absolutely not giving in, but ultimately the dam just cracked. Lewis Dodds very, very sensibly there, took the line on. They just managed to scramble back into position, but they hadn't been able to get off the line. Dodd took it at them, fell over the line for the try. And that, I believe, will be just one step too much for Hull FC, but a great effort and ultimately a great try from Lewis Dodd.
Like you say, John, you can't fault the effort from Hull FC there to scramble back. Tuamavave couldn't quite keep hold of T. Ritson, and Josh Griffin there is going to be feeling this. They were in a game, and that's one that he's going to have to take on the chin there. I'm sure there'll be a lot to say about that one, but his Hull FC boys are really digging in for him, but that was quality there from T. Ritson, and then brilliant play by Lewis Dodd to finish off the try and get points on the board.
So Joey Lusick handed the chance to make it a 12-point ball game. Territory that just starts to look difficult for Hull to claw back, as Lusick sends it through the posts. And if you talk about pulling the power out on this Hull crowd, they have gone from 100 megawatts to nothing.
Yeah, that first half was electric, wasn't it? And I think that sending off just before half time did kill it a little bit, and now we're starting to see Saints come into their own. Lewis Dodd there with a brilliant try, all set up by the work of T. Ritson, but big raps to Tex Hoy on the chase back, because T. Ritson is no slouch there, and to chase back, make that tackle, and unfortunate that the line couldn't get back to finish it off. But there's going to be some tired lungs now from Hull FC, and they're going to have to dig in for the remainder of this match.
Lusick offers that one up to Bell. It's an aggressive carry from him, and he's still going here, James Bell. He leaves Cater on the floor.
Yeah, they're dropping off tackles now, aren't they, Hull? You can virtually see the fatigue in their bodies.
Here comes Knowles, rattled in. Again with real intent. Tony Smith chewing on his gum. Penny for his thoughts. Dodd to Sirinen. Again, it's those blasters on the edge, those back rowers running with real pace and steel. Wormsley on the back of that. Motors to within 20. last tackle in the set. The hour mark almost upon us. Todd lofts one into backfield. Litton again, confident. And if you're going to have a fullback, you need him to make his claim, and that's just what David Litton did there. And then the penalty goes Hull's way as well. And that certainly fired the crowd up.
Yeah,
it's a great take.
David Litton doing brilliantly well there, hasn't he, John? Just getting up, taking it early, and a bit of contact on the head, it sounded like, from the referee, and a well-needed penalty and pressure reliever there from Hull FC to give him just a little bit more yards upfield to go at this Saints side.
Savelio trying to square up with those Saints defenders on a legal basis, of course. As the ball whizzed infield, Torvare pops it up to Fash, but no route through for him that time. Dwyer wants a quicker play the ball. Finds Hoy with a wriggle. But it's uncompromising from Saints in reply. Dump to the floor, Lane. Oh, now it's a kick from Truman. The foot race is on, but actually it's almost a way of just clearing the lines for Hull FC, isn't it? And trying to make Saints play out from D.
Good defensive effort there from Brad Fash to get up and shut down Ignatius Parsi there on his return.
He's only just come off it from what I could tell, but he's back on again. Lusick hovers. Is it going to be Morgan Knowles who takes it in? To Wormsley. Wormsley looking to get on the outside shoulder.
Well, it is the last person you want running at you when you're tired, isn't it? Absolutely the last one.
Sirenen likewise, it's just like the Bash squad that are coming after them here. Wormsley, oh, lovely little pass there. Welsby, sorry, little pass into Bell. Bell's still going here, manages to flick it off. This time to Joey Lusick. Jordan Lane dives on the grenade. And it's Hull FC who will look to bring this clear. Not that much is being afforded them.
No, they're being absolutely ruthless, St Helens. You know, we could speak about the 12 men of Hull FC and the circumstances around it, but St Helens have just been so professional and so ruthless.
Keita crunched. That time by Wormsley. And then that was a little bit wild on Brad Fash. That wasn't penalised. I'd like to see that again. As the kick stubbed to touch, rolled into the corner by Hull. Well, that went unpunished, but well, we're going to see it again. Well, to be fair, it's
all right.
Yeah, it was okay. Just a good shot in the end.
Yeah. Matty Lees and Joe Batchelor sandwich, I think he took then.
The only thing you could get him for there perhaps was a shoulder charge.
Yes, doesn't wrap the arm, does it?
I don't think there's anything around the head.
Given how what's gone against Hull, they might be thinking differently about that one. So play the ball for Saints down in their end of the field. It was a good finishing kick. Though, to be fair, there was very little by way of protest. So Hull continue. So Danny Hoy on, takes Hoy off. Danny Houghton on, takes Hoy off for Hull. Whether that's a precaution.
Well, it's a loss, that is for certain. How he's played today, he's played really well.
Looks it to Wormsley, who just runs straight at that Hull middle channel. Lomax, dummy from him. Last one for Saints, just inside Hull's 40. Dodd puts up the kick. Good chase here. Litton comes through the field, and he was almost away, but James Bell wrapped the legs, because if he wasn't, he was on the front foot there.
I'll tell you, St Helens have asked questions of the youngster, but he's answered every single one. He's been very, very accomplished indeed. Real good full-back play. He can feel really proud of his performance today.
10 metres.
So Dwyer out to Truman. Tuimavave. So 12 points in it here. Let's go down to Damien at pitch side.
Yes, I'm concerned about Tex Hoy, who we saw go straight down the tunnel. It looks like a hamstring injury. He's had an injury-plagued season, but running to form in recent weeks. Another loss for Hull FC.
Yeah, big loss. Already Scott Taylor's gone off. Josh Griffin sent off. T. Ritson. And Jack Wellsby got in a pickle. Play continues here. Handing for the corner. Tuimavave flicks back to Truman. Handed a gift. And it might just get them back in the game. Never say never for the black and whites. 16-24, Jake Truman.
You could see that one coming as the ball is hoisted up into the air. I think it's Danny Houghton that jumps in there to get that kick away. And just a bit of miscommunication at the back there. T. Ritson and Jack Wellsby both go for this one. He gets some good height on it, Danny Houghton. Both players go for that ball, and miscommunication there leads to the error. And the pick up there from McIntosh to find Tuimavave, who doesn't quite have the legs, but good support play there by Truman to finish off the try. But an error from St Helens there, a gifted try for Hull FC.
Yeah, well, you've got to admire the resilience of Hull FC, and you've got to think they deserve that. In all honesty, they've deserved that simply by just hanging in there, hanging in there, and hanging in there, and then they've just taken advantage of that error between two of the back three players for St Helens, and well finished by Truman. And should they kick this goal, dare I say it, game on.
Well, Carlos Tuimavave showed some cool, didn't he? He didn't panic, he found the right pass. Can Liam Sutcliffe find the right kick to go with it? Tester from the touchline, although I saw him at Lee the other week wrap his foot round it and kick it from a really tough angle, and he's done so again. Liam Sutcliffe keeps Hull's fingertips on the top of the precipice. They are not done yet.
Yeah, and you can sense that with the crowd, can't you? They're virtually standing to a man, aren't they, to roar on this black and white side, who took full advantage of that header there. And as you've rightly pointed out, Tuimavave is cool as a cucumber and finds the supported Truman for a great try. And what a kick! Such a pressure situation, just stroked it straight between the edge. And we've got game on. Well done, Jake Truman.
And who knows how important that penalty kick early on in the game could prove to be. 6 points, obviously converted try now. Game is on. I agree with you, John.
Brad Fash trying to take advantage of the crowds. Resolve, their resolve. Sartai, he threw a short ball, meters from his own line. I know they're chasing the game, but Chris Sartai might just wonder what might have been there.
Well, he's been more effective, not when he's passed the ball, but when he's actually gone route one and tried to come through the other side of the St Helens defensive line. So we can understand them getting a little bit excited. Certainly contributed to this Hull FC fight back and this resolve that they've got in there. But this is a great opportunity on the back of that error for St Helens once again to put another nail in the coffin.
So Dodd to feed the scrum. Lusick out to Lomax. Lomax picks back towards where that space was behind the scrum. And now Saints are right in the red zone. Lusick to go himself. Toppled by Dwyer. Houghton there too. If anyone's going to read that play, it's those two hookers. Another bash at that line from Saints. Repelled. The wriggling fish. Then it's Ignatius passing. Back to Dodd. Dodd still going here. Hull not allowing him time to dally on the ball. Lusick picks the short side now with Wellsby! Wellsby! That is a crushing blow for Hull, and a big step towards a semi-final for Saints. Jack Wellsby stands tall with a crucial clutch play.
Yeah, and all on the back of that error that just clawed themselves. I don't know how they've done it. Clawed themselves back into the game, Hull FC. And then from the kick-off set, so many times it happens that an header comes. That gave the field position. You see there, the three men and the fullback in the tackle, Litton, and he spotted that in Wellesby, and he went straight at where the fullback is, came through the other side for a really good try. And I just think that even for this Hull side, that's just one step too far now, and that's clinched the game. And again, congratulations to St Helens. Their professionalism has been first class.
Jack Wellesby keeps standing up for his team, delivering big moments. Has a bright future for England, for Saints, and potentially on further fields such as the NRL. But it's very much a Saints player at the moment, and a big part of what could be a quarter-final victory here. Kick to come from Joey Lussick then, composing himself amid the fire and brimstone of a Challenge Cup quarter-final. Saints fans in voice. Lussick has to put all that to one side, and his kick misses. 10 points in it, 2 scores.
Yeah, Mark, you said it all. Who else but Jack Wellesby to step up for St Helens when a try is needed, when points are needed on the board? He does it so well, and he just spots that. It's instinctive play, that the fullback is just hovering back in the line. Devi Litton there didn't really want to step up and make the tackle. He's just a little bit behind the rest of the defensive line, and you only need to offer a little bit of space to Jack Wellesby, and he's going to take it.
Yeah, penalty there as well. Hasn't gone 10 metres, and it's a Hull FC player. So it just compounds that.
So Saints in no rush to slug this, but there's the attempted short kick-off. Has to go beyond the 40, and it didn't. And so Saints have another jump start here towards that final 4.
Keep coming.
Tap to come.
Yeah, good there.
25 metres out. The pair of you going to have to start considering your player of the match, Parsi.
Well, there's been some great performances, Matt, on both sides, and but the game ain't over yet.
Here comes Wormsey. Havoc-wreaking stuff from him. Saints set again. Lussick throws to Dodd. Parsi will have another pop. At that middle channel, they will be fading. Energy-wise, it will be every sinew stretched. Lussick finds Dodd. Now Lomax. Wellesby smuggles it away. Hurrell comes back against the grain. Ran into a fellow Tongan in Sartai. And the buffers were put down. Bell finds Wellesby. Morgan Knowles looking to set the standards here for Saints. One more try would certainly do it. Sirinen! Brilliant defence from Hull. Tired bodies getting themselves where they needed to be.
They're not giving up yet, are they? This Hull FC side is still, they still know they're in this game, and they're giving themselves a chance.
Dodd, he's already scored one with a bit of ingenuity, solo skill, but
well, that's the professionalism of the Saints there. You know, he could have put the kick. If they're chasing points, the kick would have gone in. But what he said is, we're 10 points in front, the clock's running down, you're a man down. Try to go 90 odd metres to come up with a try.
Brad Dwyer, 8,000 plus fans here at the MKM Stadium. Ball into the hands of Sutcliffe, looking to take. Saints on the outside now with Swift. Swift cuts back inside. Conrad Hurrell stood him up brilliantly and dumped him on the turf. Cater to Houghton. Both sides have had to reshuffle in this game. Both sides have had to go a little bit unorthodox, but they still keep bringing the class. That time, McIntosh stopped in his tracks. Houghton thinking about a kick. Needs to get that ball away, somehow does. Sartai, they're all blindsiding him. It's like watching a quarterback trying to escape the linebackers and the defensive tackles, and they can't quite get away, and then the pass goes back Saints' way here.
Well, they're giving absolutely everything, this Hull FC side, and Dwyer there just trying to offload, but unfortunately for him, there's no black and white shirt in support. It was just Batchelor that was tracking back.
And Brad Dwyer is exactly who you want when you need some injection of pace in and around that middle when you've got tired bodies. He's exactly who you need. It's just whether anyone else has got enough in the tank to get within him and support him when he goes on those little runs.
Brilliant tackle on Walmsley, right under the rib cage. Put him on his back, finds his landing gear eventually, and then Lussick gets it played quickly to Party. Oh, and he went for the short ball. Oh, but play's been pulled back here.
It's a forward pass, though, I believe, so the playing at it by Hull FC won't matter. It'll be Hull FC head and feed. But Truman there just trying to knock the ball up so he could then reclaim it, and done it many, many times in the colours of Castleford Tigers. But the forward pass gives Hull FC possession. A much welcome possession.
4.5 to go, 10 points in it. It's not beyond the realms of fantasy, but it's a tough ask, and they're going to run it quickly here. Houghton bounces off one, still going here, Danny Houghton. And high tackle penalty. Well, we've got a little lull, I say a little one. Player of the match.
Yeah, well, we spoke, Jody and myself, about Curtis Surnham, Joe Batchelor, Davy Litton. There's many on both sides, but and he might well have had a quiet game initially, but when the big moments have wanted to come about in this game, Jack Wellsby's just stepped up to it, and he's been instrumental in this St Helens victory. So the Betfred man of the match is Jack Wellsby.
Deserved a match winner in so many games, despite his tender years. 22 years old, and so much promise to come. Already racking up the trophies. Saints racking up the trophies. Hunting another here in the shape of the Challenge Cup, and they are minutes away from a semi-final. Dodd to Lomax, opening up here, and James Bell seals it. No doubt at all that St Helens are heading for the Challenge Cup semi-finals, and James Bell, a thorn in the side all afternoon, gets his reward.
Just beautiful rugby league, that fantastic play by St Helens, and another unforgiving line there by James Bell, just hitting off Johnny Lomax's shoulder, and he just invites in that pass from Johnny Lomax. He knows he's going to be there. Brilliant line, shows the pace to beat the defenders, and they deserve that, St Helens. It was just fantastic play there, just to set them up, and it's crisp passing ability there, and you can see whoever fills in the second row position on that side can do a fantastic job. I think credit has to go to St Helens, the way they've moved people around in the different positions, but still find that real crisp passing ability of everybody showing up at the right time in the right position.
Yeah, they really do know the roles, and that play really did exemplify that, because there's still Wellsby around the back of Bell if they'd have chosen to do that, and there'd have been problems there. But, you know, we've spoken before, they've been very, very professional and absolutely ruthless. You know, they had everything to lose, St Helens, 12 apiece, a man to the good, and, you know, if Hull FC would have pulled this off, there'd have been all sorts of fingers pointed at them, but they've just been ruthless, relentless, and they've come away with a great victory.
Joey Lussick just to give that scoreline an even more unflattering look from a Hull perspective. The scoreline only tells part of the story on a hugely eventful afternoon here in East Yorkshire, on the banks of the River Hull. He's failed to land the kick, but it's academic in terms of this result.
90 seconds, boys.
As the handshakes between the Saints coaching staff tells you, Paul Wellens and St Helens are heading for the semi-finals, and James Bell's try is the cherry on the top of a very appetising cake.
Yeah, it just, you know, there's a story behind every game and every result, Matt. But ultimately, in a knockout competition in the Challenge Cup, all that matters is who's into the next round. And the team that's going into the next round, obviously St Helens, and they really will be fancying their chances of a Wembley appearance.
Yep, Saints have eyes on Wembley. Tony Smith, anguished look on his face again, just wondering how his side might have fared had the brain explosion not occurred just before half-time. Hull will have plenty to take forward from this game. It will be little consolation, but from a wider, longer-term view, they'll take plenty from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it could have been a completely different story had, you know, Josh Griffin not took that red card just before half-time. It was 12-all. They were absolutely in this game and would have been probably the most confident of the two teams, bearing in mind Percival and Tommy Makinson was lost in that first half. So there's a lot of positives for Hull FC to take away from the performance today, and I'm sure a lot of learning from Josh Griffin as well.
Houghton thinks about throwing the pass, thinks about placing that kick over the top. Sutcliffe against Conrad Hurrell in a foot race. So the final seconds of this Challenge Cup quarter-final, Hull FC have been game, but they have come up against an immovable force in the shape of Saints, and you don't need to hand them freebies like that one.
I think that's a fatigue freebie, that one. I think they're all absolutely out on the feet. They've given so much of Hull FC to the cause, but ultimately the man down has just proved too much for them.
Alex Walmsley looking like Conan the Barbarian at the moment. There goes the hooter. One last play. Saints will take the tackle and take their place in the Betfred Challenge Cup semi-finals. They will join Hull KR and end the hopes of an all-Hull semi or an all-Hull final. A game that turned on a bizarre moment just before half-time has been settled by a Saints side that never took their foot off the gas henceforth. Remarkable display from St Helens. Hull FC 18, St Helens 32.